Hi everyone, welcome to another episode where we have a new talk show and we have with this Baradwaj Rangan. And it's a great privilege that we have this evening with him. And so, why don't you give us an intro on your side?
I don't know. I guess I'm a film critic. I've been a film critic for close to 20 years now. I was writing for print at the beginning, and now I'm doing a lot of video. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, we all know him from, of course, Film Companion and his hypothetical questions. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his hypothetical questions because he always makes directors and writers actually think beyond what they have thought. That's what I've always felt when I've heard your hypothetical questions. So first of all, I gotta ask you about your you are a Tamilian and I didn't know you are a Tamilian until you spoke in Tamil for one episode. So being a Tamilian and not sounding like a Tamilian when you speak English is something an achievement I call it because being a
Oh,
Malayali and not sounding like a Malayali when you speak English is quite an achievement. We have to work upon the language. So from when did you actually pick up the English language and how long did it take to actually work upon it?
wow! I think this is the toughest question I've ever been asked because I don't know. I don't know at all. I went to English medium schools all my life. Tamil is something we spoke at home, and I used to read and write a lot of Tamil. But I don't know when I I don't know that I worked upon the language. I just like read a lot. I guess spoke a lot, watched a lot of movies. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where I don't know. And I think I know several people who speak one particular Indian language and whose English is fairly unaccented,
Yeah,
if
you
that's what you
actually
mean.
speak good, and I guess the backbone of your English is actually the books on the back. I can actually
Yeah,
see a
probably.
wide array
Yeah,
of
yeah,
books every time you make a video. And
yeah,
I used
yeah.
to sometimes take notes, like I try to zoom in and try to see which books I can get it from there.
Oh, okay, then next time I'll just send a like I'll put it up at different levels so that I can keep changing the books and people can keep seeing which books they are. So
Yeah, I hope my book gets there one day. I'm
good
writing
fun.
one.
Fantastic.
So the next thing I want to ask you is like you do reviews before it was on print, and now you're actually doing a video review every time. So for others like us, doing a review is kind of easier in the sense that we actually do not know much of the people we are reviewing upon, like the content we are reviewing, the directors, the
Right.
actors. We do not know much of them in person, but you've been friends with most of them, and it is kind of tough. If it was for me, you have to not let down the friend part and you have not let down the profession part. How do you manage it? Like you manage to say your words at the same time you manage to keep it intact.
See, I think you're reviewing the product and not the person. So I never get very personal in my reviews. So I won't say somebody has lost it or somebody's gone or whatever it is. I'll just review the film. So also you must understand that a lot of these friendships, as you call them, are professional, relationships. Like I'm not going to their houses for birthday parties and that kind of stuff. It's not a personal kind of friendship, which is not to say that we're not easy or comfortable or friends or whatever, uh but even then it's you review the work, and there have been one or two cases where people said, I thought we were friends and you gave me this review. But you do what you have to do, and they probably won't give you an interview afterwards. But I don't know. It's
That's what I like about you, I guess, because you
no,
say
and it's
your
it's
words.
a yeah, and at the end of the day, see, the thing is, far worse is being said on Twitter. Like you try to be. See, for me, let me give you the example of Guitar Kambi Mele Nindru, which is Gautam's film. It worked like 50% for me, and it did not work 50% for me. So I had a chat with him, and I told him that this is what worked for me, and this is what didn't work for me. So it's that's what it is, right? What can you do? It's like, if that's what my opinion is, my opinion of Gautam hasn't changed. Films are very difficult things to make, and I don't know. I'm not the trolling kind of person. So even if I say that something is not working, I'll give a reason for it's not working because whatever.
Okay. Yeah,
So
we'll come back to
yeah,
GVM sometime later in the interview. Because
yeah. So so if they I know them well, I'll call them and tell them this is what worked for me, didn't work for me. Why did you do this? Or like, just to get an idea of a thing. So, but I first record the review and then have all these conversations.
So first you were actually doing reviews on print. When you actually switched from print to visual media, you have mentioned in some of your videos, like you are just getting accustomed to that, and you have faced some number of difficulties during this process. So would you like to mention a few of them, like repetitive mistakes you made?
I think I'm much better now than I used to be. See, I think with video, the slightly unnerving thing is that with print, I'm not from a generation that constantly took selfies and this and that and all that kind of stuff, right? So you're pretty much like, you're not used to seeing your face out there so often.
Okay.
So I think that was initially very unnerving at some point, because you were like, oh my god, like, am I looking decent? Am I looking, saying something? Am I like I think all that kind of plays into this, because you get very conscious about, am I speaking okay? Am I, because plus in print is just you and the computer, whereas here there's lights, there's camera, there's sound. You have to look a certain way. You have to look at a certain angle. Now, of course, I'm a total pro and I don't know all of that. But initially, it took a while to get used to all of in the camera, so you have to look that way. That kind of stuff took some time to get used to. But yeah, but now I know what they're doing. So
yeah, you've mentioned like you have not gone to English medium schools. You have it just came on.
No. I have gone to English.
So you have gone. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, all my schools were English medium. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's okay. So about your profession as a critic, I'm saying. So where did this actually start? Like, when did you feel like you can be a critic? Like, when did you actually get on this path?
I always like movies, and to a greater degree, I would kind of analyze them more than many people did. Like why is this happening, and why not that, and why is this person acting like this in the first scene, and then why is he doing this in the third scene? Why is he different? So I guess I was always looking for things like continuity and all without my knowing it. And then when I grew up, I knew that I read a lot of American film criticism and learned that this was a genuine profession that could pay money, because the criticism that you saw here was basically small film reviews, which basically did not give you much detail. So I guess that kind of so I guess that's what got me started on that. Yeah.
It's hard to convince like you took up this profession when a time like it was not popular in India.
It wasn't. And a lot of people didn't even know what film journalism was. It didn't exist in a form that it exists today. Because today you have vlogs, you have like the internet, so you can write long pieces and all that out. Then it was only print, and when we were the first blog generation of critics, so we started writing longer reviews and started analyzing stuff. So I think that's what really helped us in terms of the internet. Really helped us kind of get around. Yeah,
it's hard to convince your family about what you want to do. Like, did you have that phase?
That everybody does. No, see, the thing is, if you want to become a film director, or if you want to become a music director, or if you want, see, the thing is, there are two types of professions in life. One, which are the safe professions. You get a degree and you get a job that corresponds to that degree, so that they'll interview you and you get a job and you're safe, right? These are the kind of professions where you have to prove yourself. You either like let's say you want to become a film director, you either have to prove that you're a really good filmmaker, or that you can make big hits or whatever it is. Somehow you have to prove yourself that you're kind of, and it's not that you get a direction degree from some film school and immediately people are going to offer you a job or something like that. So I think all these professions where your name comes in front, as opposed to you being part of a team or somewhere else, they are difficult professions to convince Indian families about, because typically, or even today, I know someone who wants to be a photographer. His family is kind of very hesitant about. A young chap came and asked me advice. I said, do a degree for your family's sake, and then see what they say. So there's kind of a thing. But he's got a great eye for photography, but it's very difficult to convince. See, because at the end of the day, parents are also looking out for you, right? They want you to succeed, but they also want you to be safe. And anything connected with films, YouTube, all of this, you can say, I'm starting a YouTube channel. I want to become an influencer. I want to do this. I want to do that. All of these are new things, and nobody's heard of them. And people look at the successful people and think that, oh wow, I can become that. But they forget that's like, even my becoming a success is a fluke. But and then there are so many people who failed. So I guess it's a very normal thing for parents to or family to kind of say, why are you doing this?
So now in the visual media you get more feedbacks than when you got the times of print. Like there are
the reach is much more. Yeah.
So I've actually seen a reaction video of yours to mean comments on YouTube, to mean questions on Twitter, Instagram. So like, why do you actually choose to react to those? Like usually celebrities or people like that neglect it. Why do you react to those?
No, this is something that it is just like a fun thing that we did. It wasn't like a serious, oh my God, I'm going to talk to my. It was just a fun thing. So and the comments weren't even that mean, so it was fine. I think it was like it was just a fun thing that we did. So in fact, we keep meaning to do it more often, but we just keep forgetting.
Yeah, I think you should do the next on the Food Companion comments, because I guess a recent week I actually went through those comments while I was listening to that, and I can see that like all sort of the GVM type of comments coming on. Like I actually saw the this pair is better than Karthik Jesse, and no offense to GVM, but this is better than Hitar Kambi Medan intro. So there was
nice.
They were praising your chemistry. There was all sort of comments out there, and I think you should do a comment reaction to that too. And like, have you read those comments? Did you actually go through those comments?
No, I rarely go through YouTube comments. There's just, I usually want to, but there's no time, and also I try generally to stay away from social media except for retweeting my stuff or whatever it is. I used to go and spend a lot more time, but then I just off late I've just gotten away from it because of various reasons.
So how has been the influence of social media in your life over the years? Like social media started like 2013, around that time. It's been almost 7 to 9 years now. So tell us about the influence of social media in your life.
It definitely helps in terms of people retweeting or talking about your reviews, either in positive ways or negative ways. I think it definitely helps. I think it also helps because it helps you to get a kind of reach that you couldn't earlier. because people today are constantly checking Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or something much more than they used to earlier. So so I think that's the real where things are going to go. But my fear is just that and the reason I got out of it a lot is also because I felt that it was like a slightly dangerous place to be. So in both in terms of not have like taking away a lot of your time, and in terms of a lot of negativity out there. So I just kind of don't go there all that much. Yeah.
Okay.
Instagram is fine though. That's kind of a nice place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Eugene, you've been not just a critic, you have been more than a critic. Yeah, you have been a screenwriter, you have written a couple of books. And, how did you become a writer other than this? Like, you went on to book writing and screenwriting. Was it, a fruit of your profession, or was it a long-time passion?
I've always wanted to write like fiction, but that never happened for some reason. I've written like a short story or two, and I've written screenplays, but I guess it's just an extension of the writing. And when somebody asked if you want to do this, I just said yes. So yeah.
So are you still interested in writing screen plays?
Yeah, I am actually writing a couple of them. Yeah.
So okay. So like about writing, like there are many of Indian writers, but we start from European writers, the Western writers first. That's the usual thing that happens when we come to English language and literature. We start from the Western writers. So mention 5 of your Western writers, like really go back to study from books that you actually take for referral. Any 5 of them?
Fiction or
beat anything,
for cinema or what?
Like beat anything, like things that you go back to, like some of your favorite writers.
The usual. I love people who use the language well. I mean, in fact, if you watch my reviews, I talk about form as much as content. Because so I love writers to like who have great sense of form as well as content, because if somebody's just going to tell me a story, they can just write it on a blog, right? It's what makes it literature. It's the form. So I guess it's usual, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, even though I realize that I'm not reading him, I'm reading his translator, but I'm like, even that is so beautiful. I love that. I'm a big fan of John Updike. I really love his books, especially the Rabbit series, which is one of my all-time favorite like compilation of books. It's a series of books about this man from his youth to his old age, and I love Vikram Seth. I really like the way he likes. Yeah, that's well. I also used to read what was called Todar Kadais, which is like serialized novels in the Tamil magazines. So I have read a lot of your Ponniyin Selvan and all that. I mean, of course, it would be one episode a week or whatever it is. It would come in Kalki. So I've read a lot of that, like Tamil stories, like that. I feel that usually the level of translation of Tamil books to, I don't know about other languages, but usually the level of translation of Tamil books to English is not really great. So you really miss the flavor. Like I told you about Marquez, right? I'm actually reading Marquez's translator, and he is, so he or she, I forget, is so amazing. So I mean, I can only imagine what Marquez in his native language was. But here the translation is a big problem because you don't find that many good translators.
Okay, like the next thing I actually want to ask is like about your one of your screenplays which you have written and has not come back. Oh, which was that? Kadal to Kalyan, right?
Right.
Oh, so what happened to that actually?
So that when Mirchi folded up operations in Chennai, they wrote it off. So they took the movie and they didn't release it. So Mirchi Movies came to Chennai with a 3-movie contract, and their first movie flopped. And then so they said they don't want to do business in Chennai anymore, and they went back. So this kind of got stuck in the middle, and yeah.
So like after the favorable reviews about your second screenplay, did you actually feel motivated to go, like, sorry, about your first one, when it didn't actually go, like it didn't actually come out, did you feel motivated to write another, or did you feel demotivated to not write for a long time?
No. So the first time I got an offer, I wasn't even thinking of writing screenplays. I wrote it because I wanted to know what goes into writing a screenplay. I got a lot of confidence, even though the film didn't come out. And a lot of people that saw the movie said that they liked it. So, or at least they liked parts of it. So that gave me the confidence. So I was looking for people to kind of write, like to come to me. I don't go around approaching people for screenplays. Directors sometimes come to me and say, and yeah, that's all there is. It's not a big
among the
story.
like you've been watching a lot of genres, like every day maybe you be watching a series or a flick. So is there a genre that you really pick up, or like a genre that you can really rewatch again and again? You bring me any thoughts, you just take it. One genre.
I'm really drawn to stories about relationships, because that's something that really, especially the darker side, I'm very drawn to those stories. Dysfunctional families, because families, relationships, these are all very tough to put on screen. And also you identify a lot with them. So it works both ways. So I think, I think that's one thing that I'm really drawn to. Yeah.
Relationships, like any sorts of that.
Yeah, like it could be relationship is anything, right? It could be
Yeah, of
love,
course.
it could be brothers, it could be
Parents, son.
parents and son, anything. It could be like whatever. Yeah. So yeah.
So among, like, you've been reviewing and then you went on to write. So being a critic and then when you write, you actually feel a little bit of breaking. Like you have to maintain a 50% of quality, otherwise people will pull you down from your other profession.
No. So while writing, your job as a screenwriter is to satisfy your director.
That's
It
it.
is not to satisfy future viewers, because your directors come to you to get a screenplay done. So you have to write your screen. He's your customer. You're the client. He's your client. You're the person providing a service.
Okay.
Right. So my job is not to satisfy the world. If the director wants me to go in a particular, unless I'm terribly unconvinced about the direction that the director wants me to go, I try to write according to what they want. So every time I write the outline, I'll always bounce it off with the director, and then the director will say, I like this, I don't like this, this is working for me, this is not working for me. Even though obviously I've written it because it's working for me.
Of course.
But then I'll have to change it because he's the client, he's the person at the end. So the only person the screenplay writer has to please is the director. It's like that's the thing. The rest of it is on the director. So
yeah, okay. As a writer myself, like once I have written something, then after a few months I revisit it. Like I am sometimes not satisfied with what I've written. Like I rewrite what certain portions. Have you had such experiences as a writer? Like be it anything you write.
I don't rewrite. But there's like, I can't bear to look at some of the older stuff that I've done, because it's like I was blatantly imitating certain writers that I liked, and like I think I found a good voice much later, and but the earlier stuff was like I was just, but I don't rewrite. First of all, there's no time. But the second thing is it's whether it's pretentious or nice or whatever it is a snapshot of your personality at that point in time.
Okay.
And I think that's valuable, right? You won't go to a photograph and change it just because you looked a little weird, right? That photograph is a snapshot of you at that particular time.
Yeah, that was a good eye opener. All kind of contents across the world. Why do you think an Indian film has still not won the Oscars for an best film in an international film category?
This is a complicated question, and Vetrimaran answered it quite well in the first interview that I did with him when he campaigned for Visarane. It's a first of all, it from the film selections committee, you have to select the right film. Then you have to select a film where the writer or the director has or the producer has the funds to go and do a campaign in LA, which is a very expensive place. Because when you say campaign, you have to make people see the movie. You have to make people have press shows and call the movies, get movies written about. You don't have to do that with the Pedro Almodovar because he's already famous. So the minute his name comes, everybody knows that's a thing. Whereas with most Indian filmmakers are not famous in the US when the Oscars are coming. So I would say even the fact that Lagan got to the last 5 is a huge achievement, given the fact that it's not a very Western, it's a very Indian style of movie making, and for it to get to that level was amazing. That I would say. But I would say that I think I'm happier about, like Vetrimaran's Visarane going to this one, the being selected at in the horizontal section in the Venice Film Festival, or Chaitanya Tamhane's Disciple winning Best Screenplay Award at Venice, or all the other festivals, Cannes and Rohina Guerra's was there at Cannes. I think that's a more viable thing because they are more democratic there. Yeah.
So do you think actually this is a hypothetical question? Do you think in the next 10 years it happens, like India will get an Oscar?
We already got an Oscar. Rahman got an Oscar.
No, not that way.
Rahman got 2 Oscars actually.
This way, foreign film category.
Like for one film, I don't know. It's very hard to say because it depends. But yes, there is a lot of talent out there because it's a question of just making the talent visible, and also getting good support from people who are known in Hollywood.
I asked
so
also
I think,
because of the fact that Netflix, Amazon, it's all promoting content from India now. It's getting more reach. So there's a better chance, right?
Right, but those are how many of them are really like good to great movies? I mean, they're all general entertainers, right? They're not like, how many of them would you say? Like I think one of the best filmmakers in India today is Don Palatra. He's, I love his 1956 Central Travancore is, I think, one of the best new films I've seen. But how many people have heard about him, or how many people send his films to the festivals or whatever it is? So, it just depends on, people. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for the wonderful
time.
So
yes, fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and all the best for your channel. And I look forward to the interview when it comes up.